Denise Perron, and I'm from Montreal, Quebec. I'd like to share with you a little bit about my background. I'm a French-Canadian, come from a large family of 8 children, and 5 brothers and 2 sisters. And I come from a family of recovering addicts, and although very successful and very inspiring. I have a very beautiful family. But I say this with, I lost a brother when he was 23, and he committed suicide, and that was several years ago now. And several years ago, about 5 years ago, I met John at a seminar, and he gave me one of his cards, Expect a Miracle. And when I was asked to talk about this, I'll come and do an Expect a Miracle story, that's the first one that came to mind, and I felt compelled to share it. When he gave me that card, we hugged and I laughed and Expect a Miracle, put it in my wallet and everything else. Came back to my office, and I'm treating patients, and my sister called me from Florida. She was on vacation, and she has 4 children, and her second son was calling and had called the helpline and wanted to commit suicide. So I said, this is not possible. And if you know any of the statistics, once you have one in a family, it's very likely that it's an easy path for some people, or I don't really understand. So I'm in between patients, and my sister's begging me to see him now. He needs help now. So I have patients in the room. I'm trying to do my thing, and he comes to see me, and of course now everything I'm focusing, so what can I do for you? And they are a divorced family, and he comes in angry at his father and the stepfather and everything else, and I don't really know what to do. It's my sister, I love them, and I'm trying to get him to hang on to something, and it comes to mind. I pull out the card out of my pocket, and I just say, Oliver, you've got to look at this. And I gave him the card, and he looked at me and he goes, is this for me? Did you print this up for me? And I said, absolutely, this is for you, and it's guaranteed. And he looked at it, and it's the first time I've ever seen somebody look at a card, and he believed it, he wanted it. And he said, this is real, I can. I said, absolutely, what is going to be your miracle? And he said, my miracle is that I don't really want to live, but if I could find a reason to. So left him in my office holding the card. I'm off to seeing more patients, and I'm thanking John in the back of my mind, thinking, at least I had some tool to buy me another half an hour. And I get back into the office, and he's still staring at the card going, and then his tears coming, and he says, okay, I'm ready. And so I sent him to a treatment center. I said, if you really want to get better, you have to get treatment. Whether or not the reason for the suicide was abuse, it didn't matter. First I did was I got him adjusted. I said, now I'm going to get you adjusted. I'm going to get you thinking on the right path. But when somebody's in a crisis, there's no reasoning. There's no thinking. They need complete help. And it's very hard to get somebody to help them. And so I called a hospital, and I called the treatment center, and they took him that very day. And as you would, if anybody knows anything about this, you don't just say to a person, go, you say, wait for me and I'll drive you there. And so he hung on to that card, and he did a treatment for 30 to 28 days, and came back out. My sister came home crying and said, how did you get him in there? They had tried to get him in there for years. And he said it was the card. He said all of a sudden for him, the miracle was really what he wanted. The truth is, he wanted a miracle. And he felt like that was his message from God, from somewhere higher up. And it gave me the lesson that sometimes we never know when the message and how the message happens, and how far-reaching. And I believe I did write John a card to tell him that little card that was so funny ended up saving someone's life. And of course my sister was like, can I print some up? How do we do this? And he had it up in his wall in treatment center. And he said that's what made him hang on. This was about 8 years ago. And he has a new life today, and has a desire to live, and has a job and reasons to live and realized